Throughout our daily life, we get many ideas and many stuff that we want to do and we want to establish and get done in the day. But we many times forget what we wanted and move on and continue our day without getting any progress done. I found out that the best way to get through this is to do a to-do list. Let me show you how I do my to-do list and how it has helped me throughout my days. Hello and welcome here. I'm Hamza Al Khatib, a fourth year dental student, and I love making videos about iPads, studying, and productivity in general. If you are interested, make sure to subscribe and hang along. Let's get right into it. There are many ways in order to do a to-do list, but I found a way that has worked very good for myself. I will show you it in a second, but first let's talk about what we should actually use in order to do our to-do list. Now you can do it on a notebook like this one, or a small notebook like this one that you can carry around with you every single day just in your pocket or in your jacket. Or you can even do it digitally on your iPhone or even on your iPad. I will tell you why I prefer this small notebook that I have right here in contrast to a notebook like this one, or just a piece of paper that I throw on my desk. And don't even let me get started about iPad or digitally on the iPhone, as I do not like it at all. I prefer doing it on paper rather than digitally, as I feel like when I write it down using a pen and a paper, I print it on my mind and I remember it more throughout the day. I feel like when I type it down on my iPhone, it just quickly goes out of my mind and I don't really remember it. Yes, I can do a widget and I can put it on my home screen, let's say on my iPad. But more often than not, I will just forget about it all and I will open my iPad and go throughout what I wanted to do with my iPad itself. Have it be note taking, media watching, or just scrolling through the internet. But when I write it on a piece of paper, let's say a piece of paper, an A4 paper that I put on my desk. Now, yes, it might be like an obstacle when I'm sitting on the desk, but that itself is that I'm having an extra piece of paper, an extra piece of gadget here on my desk helps me to remember more that what I wanted to establish throughout my day. Now when I have it on my iPhone will not change. It'll still be the same iPhone as I want. But it'll just be like an extra home screen or a crowded home screen that honestly will not help me to get through what I wanted to do throughout the day. Now yes, I can do it on an A4 paper and I can throw it on the desk and I can even put it in my pocket. But I don't really love that. I love to write it down on a notebook more than on a piece of paper. When I write down my to-do list on a notebook, I can see the progress that I have done throughout the days and throughout the years. So this in itself gives me some kind of motivation to remember it more, but also to get more motivated and more inspired to keep on going with my to-do list so that I don't forget it. When I see how much I have already established throughout my month, throughout my year, or from the beginning of the year, I found it way easier to go out and to continue this grind that I have been doing. So that's why I love a notebook more than a normal piece of paper. But I also don't really like any notebook. Yes, I can write on this notebook, and I use it often when I take my iPad with me or when I take a bag with me. But more often than not, when I want to use my iPad or I want to use my bag, I will just use my bag to get what I want from it. Have it be my iPad, have it be my charger, my power bank, and I will not really open this notebook and see what I had written on it. But when I write my to-do list on a small notebook just like this one, I found it way easier to just have it in my pocket or in my jacket. This way it's very easy to carry around with me every single place I go, and not only that, but I can even open it and remind myself of what I had to do throughout the day. Let me show you a little bit more in depth about how I do my to-do list. There are many ways in which I do it, but the first one, let's say the one which I do it in a box form, I also can do it in a bullet point form or just in a normal form, in a random form. But let me show you about why I use this one or more than this one, or when I use this one. So the first one is this in square forms. I do it in order to see the progress that I've done on a specific task. The first one is when it's empty, I still haven't done anything about it. But let's say I've put a line in the middle, that means I have started with it, but I have still not done it, or I have still not finished. But if I, let's say, shade half of the box, I've already done a significant progress in it, but I'm still not yet done. And if I shade all of it, I am done with it. Now let's say I have the box, but I wrote an X on it. It means that it's no longer important for me and I have already scrapped it. But let me also show you, as I also do this bullet point sometimes. Now sometimes when I'm getting ready in the morning and I want to get some stuff for my clinic and I don't want to forget it, so the day before I just write it in a bullet point form so that I know what to get through before going to my university, so that I don't miss anything important for myself. So here was this to-do list that I have done. See, it wasn't really in a square format because I didn't want to do any progress in each one of them, but I just wanted to remember to do these before I went. The first one, I wanted to print logbook, so there was no progress on it. I just needed to print it. So I've done that before I went to my university clinic. I wanted to get my gown so that I am ready for my clinic. But I also wanted to check what teeth I had on the models that I had so that I'm not missing any and I can go on and work with my clinic as needed. But I also wanted to check what bears I had so that I'm not missing anything and I have it all with me in the clinic. The same, I wanted to watch a video for the project that we had that day, and I wanted to see the border molding and how we do it. So that was what I wanted to do, or what I wanted to watch before I went to my clinic that day. And this really helped me, as oftentimes when I don't write it down, let's say I forget my gown or I forget to watch the video that I need in order to get the most out of my clinic. So this has really helped me. But let me show you when I use this format in contrast to this format, the bullet point format. So as you already know, I do videos. So the first one will be here, the video scripting. Now let's say I have done the video scripting, or I've got the title of my video and I've already done some of the scripting for the video. So I've done the bullet points, the headlines, but I am still not done with it, like not completely. So because I have started with it, I will put the line in the middle. But because if I do significant work and there is not really much left to the scripting itself, I will shade half of the box. Now let's say I have done it all completely, I can just shade it completely. But let's say I was scripting a video, or I was doing a video, but I no longer am interested in the video and I think it's not really a good video. I will just, from the same square, I'll just write an X on it so that it's no longer needed. Now let's say I have already done the script of the video, but let's say I want to talk about the headlines. The first headline, I want to do an introduction. The second one, I want to talk about the iPad and iPad for university. And the third one will be iPad worth it or not, like for the budget. So I can do that in a bullet point format, as I just need to make sure that I've talked about this one, I talked about this one, and I talked about this one. So there is not really much progress to each one of these. It is just like I want to just remember to go through all of them in a specific format or in a specific timeline, so that I want to keep them in order. So this was why I prefer to write down a to-do list. You tell me, do you write a to-do list or you just don't? Now, yes, I can do a to-do list on my iPad, on my notebook, or just a small notebook like this one. But I've told you this is the one I prefer, as it is the one that is most portable for myself. I just can keep it in my pocket wherever I go, whether I am in university, in class, or in a cafe, watching some videos, or even studying in a library. It is always with me and like in a portable form. When I am at home on my desk, I just keep it on a piece of paper, just like this one, and I have it always here on my desk as like an obstacle or something that I can always see and watch, so that I always remember what I had written at the beginning of the day to get done throughout my day. So this was it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, I have many other videos waiting for you at my channel, so make sure to watch it. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.